We're on the trail in the upper part of Monument Valley Park. We're gonna head north today. Stay on the Pikes Peak Greenway trail. It's a nice morning. It's gonna be a great ride. We got a nice little section of trail coming up. I always like this section of the trail. It's got some real great views of the creek, and just so green and nice today. So I've been rereading some of the book called The Finders, and really good, really great book. And they kind of approach enlightenment and self-realization from a different angle, not quite so spiritual. They've kind of collected data more like a scientist would, I guess, on people who have achieved what they call fundamental well-being, and really incredible research, and it just reinforces the potential that we all have to achieve the highest level consciousness possible. And as I've said before, what I found interesting is some of these people didn't even realize what was going on until they got into the research project. They just could tell that they were feeling way better, had a profound peace that they never had before. While some had actually worked to achieve it, others did not. It was incredible. So, back to the book. They, in the videos I made are showing you this too, but it was also interesting that they were able to determine that there was different levels of this fundamental well-being, I guess you'd call it, and that's kind of in line with all the spiritual studies I've done, where there's different levels of consciousness, and with each level, higher level, the individuals experience even more peace and happiness, sometimes amazing themselves because they thought they'd reached the pinnacle until they got to the next level. And so that's pretty cool to know the potential we have. They in their research they called it locations. Like I said, a lot of lot of spiritual works will refer to these as higher consciousness levels. As I've said, like I said, this is just another great book for my personal journey to achieve those highest levels of consciousness. And it was just interesting that they do it from a different outlook, I guess, more of a scientific outlook, but they come to the same conclusions. Just really great research by Dr. Jeffrey Martin and his team. It's nice down in here. We're coming up to a neat little watershed, I guess. It's right beside a fish hatchery, so you have people out fishing in it. Incredible view of Pikes Peak. I'll show you. All kinds of people fishing this little body of water. I suspect maybe the fishing's pretty good. I've never tried it, but I see a lot of people here fishing. I have to bring my fly rod over here and try it. So here's a nice view of this little, I don't know what you call it, little pond. And you got Pikes Peak in the background, all its glory. Mountain over 14,000 feet high. They just completed a new visitor center on the top. You can drive to the top of that mountain. And the views up there, as you can imagine, are incredible. You can see the city and all the surrounding areas east of the mountain. And you have mountains all along the Front Range. These go all the way up through. And in behind these mountains to the west are the mountains of the Continental Divide. And of course, a lot more 14,000 foot mountain peaks there. Colorado is just so beautiful. There's so many just incredible views of the mountains all over. Just wanted to show you this wonderful view right here. I love it when I'm out riding. I'll stop here a lot of times and just take it all in. This is part of our creation, what we've created together, and it is incredible. We'll be riding along it down here. It's real nice. This little section here. Just running real close to the creek. This is basically the water drainage for the city runs into this creek all the way down through, so handles all that, and all the rain that comes, it all comes into it, so the level of it changes depending on how much water has been put into it. So I'm not sure where you're at on your journey, but as I've been rereading this book, The Finders, it's kind of telling me that maybe I'm further along on my journey, which is great based on the feedback the participants in the research gave. I believe I've either reached fundamental well-being or I'm very close, and so that was encouraging as I reread, and like I said, everything I've read over the years tells me that reaching these higher conscious levels is by far the best way to live your life. You live it eventually at a point where your negative emotions are pretty much gone. You experience a lot of peace and happiness all the time, and people worry that it might change them, but everybody that achieved it says it actually enhances your experience of life, and you still do pretty much normal what you've always done. It's just the way you experience it is far different, and that's the participants in this research have indicated the same thing. Really a great morning. I'm enjoying this tremendously. I always do. Love getting out here, especially in the morning, and just riding along, taking it all in. It's a great experience for me. As we move forward, I'm going to make some videos of a few little walks I do into some really great areas here around the Colorado Springs area, and some of you may have heard of Garden of the Gods, and we got Red Rock Canyon I want to show you, and then I've found some new trails near what we call Pulpit Rock that are really neat too, so I want to do some walks through those areas. You can see that. It's a neat little bridge we're coming up onto. Show you some of the work they did down by the water. Really neat as well. How well you can see this, but that's just real neat what they did here. Kind of see up the creek as it's flowing down through. This is another great area. I love riding across this bridge and checking this out. They say being out in nature is a great catalyst for achieving those higher levels of consciousness, and so that's great because I love it out here. I love to be outside. I love nature. It is where I gain a lot of peace and feel a stronger connection to the divine, I guess. And I just marvel at all of creation, all this creation we have around us. And when we really take time to ponder it, it's pretty cool. Just wanted to show you some more of this. This is pretty cool. I like this. And here is another favorite spot I like on this trip. Pick a portion of the trail. Yeah, I love the way the rocks were dug out by this creek over eons of time, I guess, to produce these nice cool rock walls that you see. And just a real neat area down in there. I suppose it'd be kind of neat camping down there. See any wildlife today, but a lot of times you'll see deer and running around down in the thickets, which is pretty cool.